Hey everybody, on this episode of Archery Farm we're going to talk about sighting in your bow. We've got the customer's bow set up here. We have just put on his new sight and new rest. So anytime that you change anything significantly on your bow, it's a really good idea to start at a close distance. We're about 10 yards from the target here, and that's a good distance to start at so that we can get things on the paper and then we can walk back and work from there. So Scott's going to start shooting. And we're going to see where his arrows end up, and we'll work on sighting in his bow. As you can see, Scott shot 3 arrows there. It's always important to shoot multiple arrows so that you're not just getting a flyer arrow and sighting in for that flyer. Shoot multiple arrows anytime before you move your sight. So we've got a good starting point here. If we were to evaluate this, we've got 2 arrows that are pretty close to center and one that's a little bit lower into the left. So we're just going to leave everything as is, and we're going to walk back to 20 yards and start adjusting from there. Okay, so we were shooting from 20 yards there. Scott's got a pretty good group up in the top left corner of this target. When we're sighting in, we always like to start with just one direction at a time. So we're going to work on the height first, and then we're going to work on the left and right. So we're going to go back to the shooting line, grab his bow, and we're going to adjust the sight so he hits a little lower. We'll show you how to do that when we get back to the shooting line. Okay, so we decided that Scott was hitting a little bit high, so we want to adjust his sight to make him hit a little lower. When you're adjusting your sight, you always want to follow the arrow. So he was hitting high, so we need to move the pin up. To do that on this particular sight, you loosen this knob right here, and you're going to pull this arm down. That pivots here, bringing the sight up, the pin up, just like that, and lock it down. It's important to just do small increments at a time, because the last thing that you want to do is you don't want to be chasing your sight. That means sometimes you're hitting high, so you adjust it, then you're hitting low, and you adjust it, and you're hitting high again. So just do small increments at a time, and eventually you'll get there. Okay, so we're finished sighting in for height. The height of Scott's arrows are good now. The next step is going to be sighting in for the left and right. Okay, so we're going to adjust the left and right. Scott's arrows were hitting a little bit to the left, so we're going to again follow the arrow. That'll mean moving the sight to the left. All you want to do is find the screw that locks down your left and right adjustment. Most sights are using Allen key bolts for adjusting, so you'll just loosen that bolt, slide it over a little bit, lock it down again. Okay, so we got Scott's sight adjusted for left and right and up and down. We got them dialed in pretty good now. Just a matter of a little bit of practice and tightening those groups a little bit. I hope all these tips help, and good shooting.